Hi, this is the .NET Core Basic Tutorial Part 2, and today I'm going to talk about how to connect to the PostgreSQL database. So now let's go on how to set out this PostgreSQL. So let's download and install the PostgreSQL from this URL. So let's go into this download page. So this is the PostgreSQL logo with this elephant, the head of the elephant. And this is the download page for this PostgreSQL. So you just select your machine OS. So I'm using Windows, so you just click on this window here. So you will come to this page over here. So you just click on this download the installer, and it will bring you to this database download. So you just select the latest version. Now it's 13.3. So Windows is over here. So now this version only available for the Windows with the 64-bit. Your Windows is still 32-bit, so you only can download the version 10.17. So just click on this download and just follow the procedure, the instruction. Then you will have this PostgreSQL installed into your machine. So let's open up this PostgreSQL. So this is the outlook of the PostgreSQL system. So initially, if I had assigned this PostgreSQL server for you, you want to create your own server, you right click on the server and select the create, and then select the server, and then you give the name of the server. Maybe I just call it a potato, and then you need to go to the connection, and you can because now it's you had a server, you just put in the server address, maybe 10 point something like this, or you also can use this localhost as a host name. Then you need to provide the password, and just click on this save button, and it will create this the potato server for you. Open out this server, and you need to create a database. So on the database, you right click again and select the create, and then database. From here, you just create your database. You can give it any name you like by just naming your potato, and then just click on this save button, and it will going to create this the server for you. And you need to on this over here, you have this the login group, the role. You need to create your own. You need to create the owner for this database. So you right click and select create, and select this create role and give the name. Just call it the potato, and then click on this save button, and then you have this potato owner over here. You can check on this property, and you need to give it some privilege. For example, you can do login. It is the super user create. You can create roles, or this one depends on your necessary. So just save it. Go back to your database and create on this property. And on this owner over here, you can select the owners that you have created just now. It's a potato. So next, press click on this save button, and next you need to create a table for this database. So you go down to this schemas here. I'm not going into this detail about what is the schemas or all the term over here, because my main purpose of this tutorial is not to teach the PostgreSQL. I will just show you the simple basic command, how to create the table and the database. So now you don't have the table, you need to create a table. So you right click again and select create in the table, and you give a name for the table. Maybe this will be your user table. You just type user, and the owner, you select the potato, and you need to create some column for this table. So you click on this plus button, and then you can start to create the column. You need to provide the name of the column, and you need to know you got to remember that all the name inside here had to be lowercase. You put the uppercase, there will be a problem in the future when you do the SQL code. So I just set this the ID as my primary key, and the data type I let it be the big integer. So I need another column name. Maybe this one I call it name, and character variant, and you need to provide the length that the user cannot over key in the name over the limit of this length. So maybe I just put 10, and another one maybe I put cost, or maybe I just put email address, send, and this one is also belong to the character, and for the email maybe slightly longer, 20. And next, what is it? Maybe department, and this one also belong to the character. You can type the C over here to review this character variant, and this one also put 10. You also can put the integer, maybe something like I don't know, maybe something quantity, or this one is the integer. After filling all the data, the table fields, you can just click on this save button, and it will create this user table for you. And this all the column that you have assigned to the table, and you can view the data by right click on the table and select the view edit data and select the all rows, and you're going to list out all the data inside this table. And inside up here, you also can do some editing on the table, or you can add some data inside here. You can put the one, and then you can maybe put I don't know, potato and email. Gmail, and the department, maybe I don't know, IT department, and the quantity, any 10 will do. After finish editing this table, you need to click on this button here, save the data chain, and now your data is set successfully. So this is how you create the table and the column of the table and the data into this on how to create a database in the server in the ProgressSQL. So after you create this table, now we can start to go back to our Visual Studio to do some coding to pull this data into our view for the user to view the data. And this is the code that we had written in our last video. And the first thing that we need to do to let this Visual Studio can fetch the data from our ProgressSQL. I mean, let this Visual Studio to communicate to this ProgressSQL. We need to install a library called ngPSQL. So to install this library, we need to install this library into our dependency, the packet. This is the packet here. So to install this packet, the ngPSQL library, we need to go to this tool and go to the NuGet package manager and select this manager NuGet package for solution. And we select that is the browse to find this package from the internet. So you type ngPSQL, and this is the one. You just select it and select your project and click on this install button, and you're going to install this package for you. You will you just click OK, and this is the license acceptance. You just click I agree, accept. You need to accept this license, otherwise it won't let you install this package into your. Now it already installed inside your dependency package, and you will see that this mpgsql already installed for you over here. So now you can close this window. So the next setting is you need to go to this. Let me close out this. You go to look for this file called the app setting.json, and you need to you need to create some connection. Change this one to, or you can add another one by using the comma, and say this your. You can name your server. You can name this context connection your own. You can name maybe use type my server. So you need to type you type server. You need to provide the name of your server, the location, the local host. This is your host name of your server. This is your host name of your server, and then followed by the port. And you still remember that just now we are in the ProgressSQL when we create this database. We provide the port as the 5432, and the database is a potato. and the user ID also protector, and the password just now I set as a protector. That's all the setting that you need to do on this app system. You already configure this server information into this my server name here. So you set the file, and another setting that you need to do, you need to go down to this start class file here, and you need to go to the configure service. You need to add another service. It's called a service add a singleton configuration, and another configuration. Actually, this configuration is coming from this one here. So after you make this setting over here, you can the next you need to I want you to create another file. You by click on your project name and select this add, and then class. I want to create another class called the database. Enter. And inside here, I want you to below here first we need let's create another class first called the server, and public, and ngPSQL from this library connection, and you have this error here. You use your mouse cursor over it, and then here's the bar here. You click on it and select this one using the library. Is this one? You see the npg SQL library. So after you input, actually this one for you to input the library so that you can use the library object here. So next, we create the server constructor. So this one use the configuration server. Same as before, you use your mouse over here, select this one and click on this one using the Microsoft extension, the configuration. So now you can assign a string object. You can call it any name you write. Just call it a connection string. And the string format server.get section. And the first get section is from this start. Sorry, it's from this app setting. Is this you need to get this string and put it into here. And the next get section will be the string that point to your server is this one, my server. Just a copy and then paste into here. The last is dot value. So what I mean by this is you are assigned this information into this object. So after you have getting this information, you can use this const equal to the new npg SQL connection. So we need to connect to this Progress SQL using this the server, the information of the server. So you just put in this this object name over here. Then after that you just type const.open. You will start to fetch the data from the server. So we already finished the setting for the server. So next we need to make some setting for our database. Now let's do the setting on this database here. First, let's set this object for the server, and next we create some private object. The type is string and public. And next, just create this database constructor. If you don't know what is the constructor, actually the constructor is the first the entry of this class. It will be executed as long as this class has been called. So it's the way that you write the class programming language. So now let assign this SQL into this the object SQL inside this class. So you just type this SQL equal to the SQL that from the request, and the server is equal to the new. We call this here that I calling this server class. So I put in this server. The server equal to the. It means I will put in this information from the startup here, so that we can get this information and then put into here, and you are going to assign to this MPG SQL connection. So next, you type the npg SQL command. All this is the command from this npg SQL package. Or you can name it query. You can name it anything you like. New pg SQL command, and you need 3 parameter. One is the SQL string. I will explain what is the SQL string later on, and the server information .com. So it's I had to put this. It means I calling this com. I put in this object into here. So the last one is the data has to be equal to the query. You need to this one is to let you execute the SQL to fetch the data in the database. That's all that you need to. You already created this database class, or I call it a library, master library for the database. So now we can start to fetch our data, the database data, into our view from the controller. So now go back to this controller, home controller, or maybe the home controller. If you still remember in our last video that I hard code this list data here. So now I can take out all this. I want to get the data from the database, so I can start to write our SQL command. Okay, before that we need to get the server reference from the address settings. So we could go to here and type this public icon configuration server you need to using this extension. So that next in our home controller, we don't need this one. This home control constructor, we pass in this configuration, configuration, and you can name this server. And then we can use this server is this one equal to the server. This server is for this one. So now we can go down to our data is over here. So we can we can call our. But before we call our database class, we need let's assign the SQL string, the command. This is a SQL command that will read the database data from the table. You use the select followed by the colon name. We had a colon or name, and a colon or email, and a colon or department, if you still remember. And from the table name is potato. You're not wrong. So next, we just call this our database class. So assign a variable object name. Now you can call it anything you like. I just call it db equal to new database. And in our this database constructor, we had one parameter and a two parameter. So same here. So we need to assign two parameter. One is the SQL. Is this one? It's me. We assign this stream into this SQL here, and the next one is this server. So after that, it's mean now this this object will have all the property of this the class over here. If we're going to have this SQL properties, server properties, and the query and the data is query property. So let's get back to this home controller. So now you can put an if statement. Say if db dot, and you can see after I type this dot, it will list out all the property object like the data, server. It's all from here. Is this SQL, this data, and the server. So what I need here is the data dot has rows. This one this also command from the ngPSQL package. It means if we have the data, we can after we call this command, and we can get some data from the command, then we can do the following. So we can start to write the loop using the while loop. So while the db.data.read, I mean it will read the table until end of the table, until end of the data. So next we can put this the list add data into here. So now we can put the name. We replace this data with the database data. So db data 0. We are counting the column by this one. This one is a 0, 1, and a 2. So if you want this the data inside this name column to be assigned to this the name object here, you have to put the 0 here, and you need to use convert it to string. So next the price, we don't the price, or maybe not. You can add object in this model. So we go back to this model, the data model here. So maybe we can add another one. Let's say the email, and another one is a department. So let's go back to the controller. So now we can assign the email object with this data from the database 1.2 string. So next is the department. So it's at the second data, second column, db. That's all. I think that's all. We already set we already finished the setting to let the controller get the data from the database and pass it to the view to display on the screen or for the user. So let's run this program. I think there's something wrong with the table. So let's go back to our table. Our table name is user, is not potato, sorry. So this one has to be user. And then let's run this. And I think I key in the wrong password. So let's check the password again. Let's go back to this PostgreSQL, and under this login group, the roles here, the potato, we right click and select this property. I think I forgot to assign the password, so I just put potato and save to this system here. And before I run this the code, before I run this code, I need to cross this database, the server. After we finish running this, after we finish fetching the data from the database and assign the data into the list model, so you're going to call this inside here. Sorry, I forgot to create another method called cross method to cross the server. So you need to say this server.count.cross like this. Because this is not a constructor, it's the main method. So you need to set type void to say no, return nothing. If you want to return something, you need to put string or integer or something like that. And it is also our topic. So go back to the controller. So now you can have this cross object. This is how you cross this connection with this progress serial. So let's run again this code again. This time he work out that the current name does not exist. These are the users. We cannot use this keyword user because it's being reserved by the somewhere else. So we need to call it another name. So go back here. So let put the TD for the table, and go back here and we change this table name to TD underbar user and save, and open it and try to run again. And this time is to be okay. Now print out this the potato from the database for us. Let's try to create a table to list out all the data. So we go to the view. So we go to the view, the home index. Instead of using the list, we can use the table. And we can use this here and by the TD, or you can create a title th, say that this is the name, and here send you can put in this data over here, name, department, and email. So you can go to the root CSS file here. You can maybe go down here and you can say you want the table th. Let's try to run this one before I set out this CSS for this table. Now the data are very ugly, in a very ugly way, so you need to use the CSS to make some styling. So let's go back again here, and you can set you can put a border. So now let's go back to this table over here. Let's add some more data here. Number 2 is set, and go back to try to run this code again. Now you have the 3 data, but you don't have this star assigner into it because we need to refresh this CSS file because we just created it, and this background is from Sphere. And let's go down to this. Let's open out this the master path here, and you can see that this is the section that we are assign our library and the CSS file and the JavaScript file. And for this CSS file, we need to add another command called append version to true. So now I let run again. It means it will auto refresh this CSS file by assigning the new version for this the CSS file. You can see that it assigned the star into this table, and now it looks better than before. So this is the way how you get the data from the database by using the Progress SQL. So I think that's all for today. So if you got any question, you can just comment below, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.